Welcome to the viewing room. Ew, my fucking toe.
She broke herself today.
It may,
Step behind the veil with us.
it may or may not be broken. We're not, I don't know. There's not
Yeah.
much they can do about it anyway.
Stubbed it twice.
Yeah, I stubbed it on the couch and I stubbed it on my bed. Anyways.
Yeah. Continue.
This episode is regional paranormal, and we picked the Appalachian Mountains to talk about. So we both have different stories we're going to share. I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, I really like the Appalachian Mountains.
It was cool to read about because there were a few that I was picking between that I read.
Yeah, and there's such a large variety of different types of spooks.
I didn't realize that the Bell Witch was, like, I know it's technically not in the Appalachian Mountains, but it's close enough that they consider it part of it. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
It's a cool story.
Learn new things.
Okay, you've got this. All right. So mine is a paranormal story from Reddit, and the user's name is Doobie Doopy. So
Doobie doo.
I'm taking that as that they're stoners. Doobies. Okay, so it says, I live in the heart of Appalachia, and this is easily the most terrifying story of one of my experiences. This may be short or it may be drawn out. I am recounting these events as I type, as it was honestly one of the most horrifying things I have experienced, and it brings me genuine stress to think about. This happened maybe 2 to 3 years ago. I live in southern West Virginia and have for my entire life. The woods and mountains surrounded every direction you look, and nighttime is a darkness that you can never dream of unless experienced. Da, da, da. I was with a friend, I'll call him Mark. Mark was at my house one evening doing the usual things, watching UFC, playing Xbox, etc., 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 etc. It was extremely late when we finally got bored and decided to go for a walk on a nearby trail to smoke a joint. This is not a particularly long trail, but it is very dense in the woods that surrounded it, and it is easy to get freaked out when thinking of your surroundings. We finally get about halfway into the trail, about 30 minutes in, where we stop, pack our joint, and stand on the trail to chill and talk. I don't think I'd go into... Well, no, I can't say that. Not in the dark. In the daytime, yeah, I'd definitely go into the woods.
I'd probably go to the woods.
But I don't think I'd go in the dark. It's too scary.
I would walk in the direction you walk.
What? Okay, we'll come back to you. The forest is very alive tonight. There are always noises in the woods, but the amount of animal activity for the time, at this point it was probably past 1 a.m. This was strange and kind of eerie, but not alerting, as any sort of predatory animal in the area may cause a disturbance. What? Anyway. We finish smoking and continue our walk when almost immediately the forest falls dead quiet. As soon as the forest goes quiet, there's a voice. It almost sounds like it's mocking. Mocking what? Oh. It sounds like a mocking humanoid voice, shaky and uncertain. Almost like an old children's toy, like the ones with the crackly speakers and robotic voice, if you know what I mean.
I do know what I mean.
Yeah. This immediately sets us off. We bolt directly down the opposite length of the trail, but the sound does not gain distance. It doesn't get closer per se, but no matter how far we ran down the trail, the eerie voice remains at the same volume, going over and over with no quieting or stopping. At this point, I am convinced that we are in genuine danger, something I have felt very few times. Finally, after sprinting for who knows how long, we exit the trail, gasping for breath and almost at the verge of tears of how frightening this was. We begin to exit the trail, and about 5 minutes from the exit, There is a bone-shaking, heart-stopping, murderous scream from directly behind us.
I was gonna do that.
I know what a mountain lion.
Wow. A canopy.
I know what a mountain lion sounds like. This was not an animal. This was not someone playing or watching a movie. This scream sent birds flying from nests and made my heart drop into my stomach. It was the most genuinely depraved and violent scream that I have ever heard. This is a true story that I've only told maybe 3 people, all of whom seem to brush it off as false. I've never been a person to push for the existence of the paranormal or spiritual, but I genuinely believe I encountered something inhuman in those woods. And then this is like an edit they added after. I know I will receive questions such as what was the voice possibly saying, or explain the area and what happened after. I genuinely cannot remember what the voice was saying, if anything intelligible. I don't know if I could understand it then, and I certainly can't recall understanding it after several years of blocking it out of my memory. All that I recall is that it was a fluctuating voice in pitch, shaking, almost just joining sounds together. After running from the scream at the end of the trail, we ran to the car, which was only about 5 minutes from the trail, so we got there relatively fast from sprinting. And then I was reading the comments on that story. It's a little confusing because they said they walked to the trail, but then at the end he said they got in their car. So I'm assuming they drove
And then
to the trail and
drove
then
to the
went for a
trailhead
walk.
and then walked. Yeah.
That he just, yeah.
Yeah.
So in the comments, there was a podcast mentioned called Night Owl. And in that podcast, there's an episode called The Devil's Backbone. And people in that episode it's just like a compilation of, they interviewed some people and they all experienced the same thing. And they also heard, so creepy, eerie things would happen in that area. Like they'd see shadow people. They saw this weird thing crawl towards them on the dirt road. Like it was like slithering to them, but it was like a shadow. And then they also heard a robotic voice. So that's why they referenced it, because they heard like the same kind of sounds. And then in that episode, it's actually a good episode. It's the podcast is called Night Owl and the episode is The Devil's Backbone. But this group of friends all experienced the same thing in their house. Like they'd see shadow people and then they started seeing them near their house, and then they started experiencing things in their house. And there was one room that they wouldn't sleep in because the one friend saw like this thing floating above them.
Ew.
And then they always thought they heard their mom doing dishes at night, like the clinking of dishes, and then they later found out that it wasn't their mom doing dishes.
That's icky.
Yeah.
I mean, if the ghost wants to do dishes,
Yeah, I mean,
let the
sure,
ghost
go
do
ahead.
dishes. If the ghost want to come,
They're gonna live there. They may as well do something to contribute.
I cannot talk to.
And then the voice they heard also didn't really sound like human.
Yeah.
But it was trying to like mimic a human voice. But it was like robotic. And then I also looked up a few other comments, and some people said that it could have been a Bigfoot because it referenced that sound of the Bigfoot talking and how it doesn't really sound like human, but it's human-like.
Yeah.
But that's not really robotic to me.
Honestly, if something is trying to mimic humans, like even with birds and stuff.
Yeah.
If you think of a bird, like not quite a parrot, but kind of a bird a step
like
down
a crow
from
or
them,
something.
like a crow or raven, it kind of sounds slightly robotic.
And like monotone.
Monotone.
But the Bigfoot voice didn't sound robotic to me.
Some others might though.
Yeah. But yeah, some people said it could be a Bigfoot. And then I looked up some more stuff and people said it's a mimic or a shadow person. But shadow people, do they talk? I've never experienced one talking.
I've never experienced one talking either.
I could see it being a mimic if it's trying to like speak to them to get their attention. But yeah. And then another comment said it could have been a skinwalker.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because they kind of mimic.
Did you know you're not actually supposed to say that word?
Why?
Skinwalker, you're just not supposed to.
Well,
It's just bad.
It's like
I don't know. I say
Beetlejuice.
it all the time.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Is he gonna appear now?
Oh no! Oh, what? It's a goose. It's so
No.
cute. Sorry. Anyways.
A ghost. But yeah. So, but that's how I mentioned in the last episode when I said don't go into the woods in the dark.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. So with this, mostly going to talk about the scream they heard. I know they said it wasn't a mountain lion or anything, but mostly when I think about screams like this and like forests and stuff that people don't know, I think about bobcats.
Yeah.
Because
they have,
bobcats
like, really
sound like
loud.
women screaming, right?
But it's just weird that they heard the robotic voice before the scream.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah.
And if a bobcat screamed, would that send birds flying?
It might. I have no idea though. I haven't looked that far into.
I watched a funny bobcat video. This is really random, but they screamed, "Oh my god, it's a bobcat!" And the bobcat jumped and like ran away. Like it was like, "Oh my god, where?
Oh my god, it's the purple.
Where's the bobcat? I need to leave." But yeah, that was my stories that I found. I think that's cool though because like mimics, like we kind of mentioned them in our last the first cryptid episode we did. Yeah, that would be a creepy experience, especially like just being in the dark in general is just scary.
Especially because it didn't get quieter or louder when they were moving.
No,
it stayed in a constant tone.
And everything in the woods, like even the bugs went silent before they heard
That's
it.
when you have to start to worry when everything goes quiet.
That's not good.
No.
It's like the calm before the storm.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, like how it gets all calm before a tornado hits.
Mm-hmm. Creepy.
Oh.
Creepy.
Wild.
But I also wonder too, like, because they were smoking pot, and like, I wonder if their brains just like tricked them.
Maybe.
But to be fair, like, I used to be a big pothead. I still
Same.
occasionally smoke pot. We both were. But I've never heard voices.
I never really hallucinated anything at all. No.
Not on pot.
On pot. Oh, tell me more.
Well,
don't tell me more. No.
My acid stories are not sharing.
No.
No. I did have a cool napkin though when I did acid. I thought it was cool. I brought it home.
You told me about the napkin, yeah.
Yeah, I brought it home to Andrew. I actually think I still have it. It's in one of my everything drawers. It was folded cool and it looked cool. My high acid brain. It's fucking napkin. Literally how I came home. I'm like, look at this napkin. It's so cool.
Yeah, honey.
My eyes are just like... Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was mine. So now we're moving on to Katie's. What do you think of mine? It was like the other ones I looked up the Flatwood Monster, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, they are. It is.
Katie says it's a girl.
I think it's a girl.
Boy.
You know, it's could be either.
She said it was wearing a dress.
Yeah,
I say it's wearing a cloak. I can't crack my knuckles right now. They hurt.
Guess who's winning then?
But yeah, I looked up that, and then I also looked up the Bell Witch. But I feel like a lot of people have done that one.
Yeah,
it just is popular. And now there's 2 movies I think now. Still cool. I didn't realize that was part of Appalachia.
Well, Appalachia is a pretty vast.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
So then because it's Virginia, right?
Did you know? Sorry. Did you know that the Appalachian Mountains used to be taller than Mount Everest? But over time, they've worn away from the elements and the wind and stuff.
No.
So they used to be a lot bigger than they are.
Interesting.
Yeah. The more you know. The more you know. Anyways.
Yes.
Where were we?
Your turn.
Oh, right. Okay. So I have to say straight up, my cousin gave me this idea. Oh, and if she watches this, I'm never going to live it down. Okay.
Okay.
Because we were talking about the Appalachian Trail and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like, it's like the creatures are creepy, but also how it affects people is creepy.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, there's been so many murders and missing persons, and people come out acting oddly and stuff. So
Sure.
it's gotta be doing something, right?
Yeah. Because isn't there like a different policing? Like, isn't there a cutoff where the police like switch, but then there's like an empty gap in between?
Maybe.
I'll have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure there's like a dead zone where there's no one that controls it.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that.
I don't have my phone.
I haven't heard
right
about
now.
that before, so.
I can't remember where I read that or heard that, but I'm pretty sure. We'll look it up.
I'll have to look into that. But anyways, yeah, I went and kind of looked at how it has affected some people and whatnot. And I didn't want to say go through everyone because that's a lot of people. So I picked one murderer. He's a pretty famous one Reddit story. Okay. Got my notes here because
There's like the Whitaker family that live up there too, though.
Whitaker family.
If you know who they are.
The inbred
Yeah.
blue people. Anyways.
Yeah, but they're not. The descendants aren't blue.
No, they're not.
They're just
It's
inbred.
yeah.
Very nice.
Okay, so I have all my notes here because I actually didn't do this until today. Because I've been I've been sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been super sick and tired and just not wanting to exist at all. So I have my notes because, I might not remember everything. This I might need. No, hold it. I might need it. Anyways, okay. So I'm gonna talk about Randall Lee Smith. Okay.
Randall
Smith.
Lee
Smith. Okay. He's a pretty popular murderer from the Appalachian Trail. He goes by the AT killer or the Appalachian Trail killer.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1981, I believe, he went and he killed 2 different people. Laura Susan Ramsey and Robert Mountford Jr., I believe. So he went and he killed them, and then he got the 2 second-degree murder sentences. And it was 2 consecutive 15-year sentences. Oh. And then in 1996, he got out on mandatory parole.
What?
Yeah, he got out on mandatory parole, so he didn't have a choice.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either. I haven't looked into it more, but yeah, he got out on mandatory parole, right?
So, like, they're like, well, you've been in jail too long, you got to get out.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I don't know. It was really. I mean, a lot of people were very upset.
Probably.
Not only were the family members of the deceased upset, but people just hiking on the Appalachian Trail were super upset.
Well, yeah, because like, there's nothing stopping him from going back.
A lot of killers go back to their stomping grounds after they get out.
Yeah.
So after he moved out, he moved in with his mother for a while, right? And eventually he was like, this isn't working anymore. So he packed his stuff and left. Okay, so he's back out in the world again.
I thought, though, like, if you're on parole, don't you have to live with who they say?
His tracker device thing, or whatever it was, broke.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it broke. So he decided to wander off. And then in 2008, okay, these 2 guys were fishing. I can't remember. Scott Johnston and Sean Farmer. 2 buddies out fishing, having a great time down at this place called Dismal Creek. And that name, I don't know why they call it Dismal Creek because it looks.
Well, now it's dismal.
Yeah, now it's a bit dismal. It looks so pretty there. I'm like, man, I want to go to Dismal Creek. I don't care if I get murdered. Anyways, Dismal Creek. Yeah, they're there fishing and they're having a good time. And then the Johnston's walking back to the campsite and he comes back by this old man with his dog, right? And this old man with his dog seems confused. He's fishing too, right? And Johnston's like, hey, why don't you come back to our campsite? Because there's a code kind of in Appalachia that if you see someone that needs help, you help them. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah, I know. Risky business.
Yeah.
So yeah, Johnston leads them back to the campsite, and Sean Farmer sees Randall standing there, and kind of, gets worried because Johnston hasn't showed up yet because he's untangling his fishing line. Then Johnston finally shows up, and Farmer's like, oh, okay. Like, he's still not happy that this random man is in their campsite, right?
His friend is back.
Yeah. And then Randall, he doesn't call himself Randall for this. He calls himself Richard Williams. So they have no idea who he is because he introduced himself as Richard Williams. So they're going, they're talking, they're having a great time. He eats some fish with them and everything. And then eventually it's time for him to go, right? It's getting pretty late. So he grabs his dog and he starts walking off. And then when he's about 15 feet away or something like that, he turns around, pulls out a gun, and shoots Farmer in the head. Okay. And then Farmer falls down on the ground. And he turns and he shoots Johnston in the neck.
Oh.
So the blood obviously is gushing out of Johnston's neck. And he goes and Johnston goes to run and he gets shot in the back too. But for some reason, the adrenaline is really kicking in and Johnston just keeps fucking running. And then poor Sean is on the ground still. So Randall Smith walks up to him and puts another bullet in his chest. Right?
Just to be sure.
And then by some
like superhuman.
By some miracle, Sean gets up.
Oh.
Too.
What?
And he ends up sprinting away too. And so Sean gets in his truck and he starts taking off driving down the road. Okay.
Where in the head did he get shot?
I don't know, just in the head. I think around the temple area-ish. But I know. But yeah, he was driving down the road and he sees his friend, like Johnston, kind of tumble out from the bushes because he was just fucking sprinting. So he opens the door, lets Johnston in, and they end up driving to this random lady's place. And Johnston gets help because at this point, Sean can't move because he's got the bullet in his head and his chest, and he is.
Yeah, he's probably wearing off.
He's waning. Yeah, he is
in shock.
Yeah, he's in shock. So he goes to this step and the girl opens and, there's blood pouring from his neck and she calls 911. She doesn't think they're going to make it. And the police get there, right, and everything. And they get these two men off and they both survive. In the end, they both survive this attack.
They're lucky.
Yeah, I know.
Like
they're insanely lucky.
Zombies or something.
And then the police driving back see this truck coming towards them. And it ends up being Johnston's truck and Randall's driving it. And then Randall ends up trying to, dodge the police car and ends up crashing the truck. So Randall gets detained. And then about 4 days later in jail, Randall dies because of a blood clot from the car crash.
What about his dog?
His dog was fine.
Okay.
His dog got adopted.
Okay, good.
So he's in a good family now.
Okay.
But the police, after searching the area, they found this campsite, right? And it looked like somebody not right of mind just was camping there for quite some time. Like it was neat and tidy and taken care of, but something was obviously up. And they went and they opened this tent and they found 30 different knives. Jeez. And around the campsite, there was clothes from many people. Like there was like children's clothes and men's clothes and women's clothes. And there's 4 pairs of lady underwear and everything like that. And also in the tent was this little cassette player or something. I don't know what it was, but they pressed play on it. And it was just weird chanting.
Oh.
Like really weird chanting. Okay. And Randall, when he was talking to Johnston and Farmer earlier, was mentioning how the Appalachian Trail was like his lifeblood.
Oh.
And like he belonged there and needed to be there. So I'm wondering if Randall thought that Johnston and Farmer like somehow desecrated the Appalachian Trail by doing something.
Yeah.
And decided that it was
his inner voice or
and
whatever
his power to murder them.
When you said lifeblood, I watched a different person talking about an Appalachian story, and someone had set up booby traps, and they were watching the people. It was like a wire was set up.
Yeah.
And they heard someone off in the distance saying something about lifeblood, and they have to drain the blood to recoup the lifeblood or something.
Oh, that's weird.
So that's weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was him.
Maybe. And like all those years, the only people that were ever murdered by him were the first two. So Laura and Robert.
So then what were all the clothes then?
That's the thing. There had to have been a lot more
Yeah, where do you put
victims
the
out there.
bodies?
I have no idea. Nobody knows, and nobody will know because he
He's dead.
died.
Yeah, they didn't get a confession or anything.
Yeah, so we'll never really know about that.
That's just weird though, because they're like, obviously you're not just gonna strip people, and they're not gonna
Yeah.
just be running around naked because they're gonna tell someone that
So
something happened.
what did he do with the bodies?
Did he eat them?
Did he eat them?
Is that the lifeblood?
I have no idea. Nobody will ever know. So that's the murder I picked. Mostly because he's one of the most famous from there. So like a lot of people will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
But that lifeblood reference is weird because that's
I
weird.
know. Oh, and he was using a .22 caliber pistol. That's the type of gun he was using.
It's a good
Forgot to
shot.
put that in. Yeah, I know.
Too bad they didn't die.
Wild.
Well, not too bad. I'm glad they didn't die. I'm glad they didn't. But like, that's insane for them to both survive from those life-threatening injuries. Like, that's wild.
I don't need this anymore.
Did you even read it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. Thanks, honey. Okay, so for my Reddit story, I renamed this one because it had a really long name. So I just named it Fearful Boyfriend. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted by the cat for a second. It's by Playful-80-9608. Okay, so this woman and her boyfriend were together for 4 years, I believe. And they had a pretty good relationship. Like, they finished each other's sentences.
Sandwiches.
Yes. Yeah, they finished each other's sandwiches. And they just liked each other's jokes and got along really, really well, right? Yeah. So, and they wanted to take a trip to the Appalachian Trail. That was her boyfriend's kind of like, one of her boyfriend's like dreams, to go to the Appalachian Trail and do a long Appalachian hike. So he was super excited about this. And apparently like he couldn't sleep for a few days beforehand because he was so pumped up about it, right? And they left. Excuse me, ma'am. Am I boring you?
No.
You tired?
Hey.
What? Oh, cat. He was okay. So yeah, they left, and the first 2 weeks they were rough because they were kind of getting into the flow of exercise and
it's
schedules and hot and humid.
Yeah,
kind of gross.
You're sore.
But other than that, it was pretty good. They were rather enjoying themselves because it's pretty. There's a lot of things to look at, a lot of things to listen to, right? And then the third week hit, and she said that you could feel something in the air change. Like the air just got heavier and the environment just felt darker than it did, right? Pause. Okay, so third week hit, it felt a lot heavier, a lot more dreary and everything. And her boyfriend, who normally was like pointing out every little thing and very chipper and excited about things, suddenly getting really quiet and tense. Okay, so he's just really off and it was very uncomfortable. She just didn't really understand what was going on, which I wouldn't either, because it's weird. She woke up one night, okay, one of these nights a little bit after, and she noticed her boyfriend wasn't beside her. So she gets up and goes outside and notices him staring off into the forest, like just dead staring. Okay, and then when she like called out his name, he turned around really fast, like he got caught doing something, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I just had to pee." Right?
Outside? I mean, I guess you're a dude, but like,
yeah, and then yeah. Stop. Oh no, the boob's not holding my thing. Anyways, yeah, they went back to the tent, and she was trying to sleep right, and the entire night, she could just feel him laying there, like just staring at the roof, not sleeping, and it was very uncomfortable for her. But that kept happening over and over and over again. They finished about 2 days later after that. And then she was really hoping that things would go back to normal afterwards, but they didn't.
Like they finished their hike?
Yeah,
or their trip?
they finished their trip and they got back home and everything. And nothing went back to normal afterwards. Like he was completely different than he was before. It was like he was terrified of her. Like she would touch him and he would jump and panic and stuff, right?
Weird.
And then at one point, he started locking the bedroom door at night.
Like locking her out or locking her in?
Well, she'd start in the bedroom and then she'd wake up on the couch and the door would be locked. And in the morning, he'd be like, yeah, I don't know why you're out there. You must be sleepwalking and stuff, right? Like, he was terrified.
Huh.
Like, I don't. But. And then one day, she decided to ask him what was going on, right? Like, if she did something wrong.
Mhm.
And he said, you haven't done anything. I've just been in my head since the trail. Okay? After that conversation, she went to the bathroom and, washed her face and stuff. And then she looked up the mirror and her reflection was smiling at her. But she wasn't smiling. So she was right creeped out from that. And she convinced herself that it was just the lighting. Wait.
Just being creepy.
Oh. I was like, what did I do? Oh, giant artist. God. Yeah. Okay. She was also confused because she had no clear memories from like the last 2 days of their trip. Like there was like little flashes and snippets and she'd get a strange taste in her mouth.
Like metallic-y?
Yeah, and she woke up, I believe, one time with a bunch of dirt under her fingernails too. With like no reason. She didn't know what happened or anything. And she really wanted to ask him more. But she got a feeling that she didn't actually want to know. And one night she just remembered getting really, really hungry. Like hungry to the point where it was like not of this world type of hungry.
She's succubus.
Maybe. I don't fucking know. But yeah, and that brings me to think of the rules of the Appalachia, right?
Yeah, my sister was mentioning those.
Yeah, because there's like, you don't whistle at night. Sorry, I'm the lucky ears. You don't respond to noises you hear. So if you hear your name or anything, no, you didn't.
Yeah, no.
No, you didn't. And a big one is don't stare into the dark for too long.
Well, then.
And what was he doing?
Yeah, but then why did it affect her and not him?
I don't know. I'll get to things about that. Then there's don't leave the trail. Yeah. And don't be in the woods from dusk to dawn.
Yeah.
Like you said, in the dark.
Don't go in the woods in the dark.
Don't go in the woods in the dark.
God.
But yeah. And I was reading and somebody said that they think they were in the, I don't want to say jurisdiction, in the area of the Cherokee or Little People.
Okay, yeah.
And they like disrespected them or something because they like things to be orderly and quiet. So maybe her boyfriend was too loud or something. And
like on the trails.
On the trails.
Or they littered or something.
Or they littered or anything, disrespected them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought that one was interesting considering they were doing so well. And then all of a sudden, he flipped and he started.
But then it was her.
Yeah. And he was completely terrified of her.
Probably for good reason.
He wouldn't say anything about it. So what did he know?
Yeah. What did he see her do?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Weird.
Yeah, that's my stories. There's not too much more to it than that. There was a story. Okay, I was listening to my podcast. Okay, as one does while they fold laundry. And there was a story of this man. His uncle hiked the Appalachian Trail, and he really wanted to try it too. So he decided, yeah, I'm finally going to try it. Maybe I won't do the whole thing, but I'll go and try it, right? And then one night, he was sleeping in a hammock because it's better than sleeping on the ground because of all the bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
And he opens his eyes, and there's this humanoid creature hanging over him and just staring at him.
Ew.
And he didn't know what it was, so he like panics and like with his knife and like tries to like jump out of his hammock to like the thing, and it was gone, right? And then it was 2 weeks later, I think, he hadn't gotten like heard anything else from this thing. So he was like, forgetting about it. Didn't really happen. It was just a dream. And then he was sleeping in the hammock again one night, and he realized that he felt like really wrapped up, and his face was like pushed against fabric and stuff. And he dropped from the trees, and something started dragging him across the ground.
Oh, in his hammock?
In his hammock. so he couldn't see what it was. But he remembered that the watch his dad gave him was kind of old and worn out. So the latch part, like that sticky part, stabby stab, was kind of really sharp. So he tried to undo that to cut through it.
Yeah.
And since, you know, he poked himself a couple of times with it and drew blood, he eventually did get through the hammock and stuff. But instead of looking at what got him, he did the smart thing to do. And he just got out of there. Just got right out of there. And then by the time he got to somebody and they went back, they found his campsite and everything, but there was no hammock. They couldn't find the hammock. So we don't know where the hammock was, but maybe they just really wanted
like, this looks comfortable.
This is a nice hammock. Yeah, what are you doing here?
Get out of my hammock. It's mine.
They're going to be really depressed when they find that, like,
it's cut
there's a big hole in it. Oh, man.
They go to lay in it.
All that work, all that stalking, man. Yeah. Just to get your hammock sliced and diced by a man in a watch.
With his watch. I also read one. It was something called the Talipo or the
Talpo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people were saying that they kept hearing like something on the roof of their house. Like it was like in the 1900s, like back before they had like electricity and shit. But they kept hearing something on their roof. So the one night they all stayed up waiting to see if they could catch it because their neighbor didn't believe them. So the neighbor and the dad and the son stayed up waiting, and the neighbor saw this thing looking through their window and then freaked out. So then the dad and the son took off trying to find it, but they didn't see what it was. They just saw the footsteps into the woods. But some people were saying it was the Talipo.
Yeah.
Talipo, whatever. Because he lost his tail and wants it back.
Well, I want my tail back. I want my tail back.
Yeah. Balance. So, and then, the Flatwood Monster is a story of some farmers that saw something crash, and then they went to go see what it was, and then they saw this like really tall figure. Some things say it had like some people think it's Mothman because the eyes were red and glowing.
Yeah.
But it didn't have wings. It had like a spade-shaped, I don't want to say head, but it had something that was spade-shaped around
like
its head.
Kinda, yeah.
Like a hood. And it was really tall, and it made like mechanical sounds. They heard like mechanical sounds. Yeah. And then they tried going back to see it the next day with like the police and stuff, and they could see that something had scorched the ground, and there was like this weird oily like goo substance.
Yes.
But there was nothing to show that whatever they saw was there. And then so people say it got debunked, and that it didn't make sense to me because they said it was a meteor landed, and then it was an owl, and then also I can't remember the other thing, but it was like too weird that all three of those things would have to coincide and happen at the same time for them to be able to see what they saw.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
No.
It was probably an alien, and the government's like, no, you saw an owl with a hat. And a meteor at the same time.
What's with you and hats?
I don't know. I like hats.
And animals.
But yeah, some people think that it is the Mothman because it's somewhat similar, but the only thing that's really similar are the eyes.
Yeah.
But there's they have a Flatwood Monster convention where they have people come. It's actually coming up. I think it's in September of this year.
That's when the Mothman Festival is too.
Yeah. So I wonder, but they have people that come to the convention to talk about their like experiences of sightings of him or it. And then they have like sciencey people come in and explain their version of things.
That'd be so cool.
They have a statue of him too. And they have a museum. Kind of like Mothman.
I want to go see so many museums.
You seen that the Mothman statue has a butt?
Yeah,
like
people stick coins in there.
He has a tramp stamp.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And they stick dollar bills in.
Yeah, they got annoyed at people putting cans of beans at his feet.
What's that about?
Mothman just likes beans.
Why?
I don't know. Beans are good.
Beans, musical fruit.
The more you eat, the more you do. Anyways. Yeah, he just likes beans, and they got mad because
Who
people
decided he likes beans?
Can you let me finish? Okay. So they got mad at people leaving beans in front of his feet. So what did they start doing? They start leaving money in his butt crack. Because that's the logical thing to do.
But why does he like beans? Who decided that?
I still don't know. I looked it up. That's a good question.
But yeah, he has a nice butt.
He does. He has no right being that thick.
No, he's like caked up.
He is caked up. And they're like, why do people want to bang Mothman?
Because of his butt.
Well, yeah, why'd you give him a nice butt?
Also, why does he have such a human butt? Well, I guess he's Mothman.
Yeah. Half moth, half moon. He's a really big M-O-T-H. A really big M-O-T-H.
And then we did ask people what their favorite Appalachian story is, but nobody answered our question this time. Rude guys.
No. So
whatever. I love when you guys answer.
I do. I like it too, but I also like just sitting here and just
talking. My sister did answer, but it kind of tied into with what my story was about, like mimics.
Yeah.
And then she mentioned the rules of Appalachian, not whistling or like answering if you hear your voice.
The biggest one, if you see or hear something weird, no, you didn't.
Yeah. You can't run away though, you said. I'm running away.
You don't run away. You
I don't
just
care.
walk away. Just walk
like
away.
I said last time, maybe they don't know that I wanted to just decide to run in the opposite direction to my car.
They're gonna know. Because first of all, you're gonna say something. Okay, you're either gonna scream or you're gonna curse them out, okay?
Or I could psych them out and run towards them.
That's a me thing to do. Oh,
and then see what happens.
Right, just gonna square up with the.
Yeah.
I also heard this one story because there's a lot of tapping on windows in Appalachia. I don't know why them skinwalkers just like to tap, 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 tap.
Tappity tap.
Really annoying. Anyways, this girl was trying to sleep,
if
right?
I had cool nails, I'd probably tap on your window too. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So this girl, she was trying to sleep, right? And her grandma was always like, if you see something outside, if you hear something outside, don't look outside.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, it has
You're gone.
You're dead. You're fine.
Yeah.
So she lays in her bed and she can hear her mom outside talking. But her mom lives somewhere else. Right? And her mom's saying things like, sweetie, come help me in. I need your help and stuff like that, right? And she, listen to her grandma, she's not saying anything. She's not going to the window or anything, right? And this voice gets not angrier, but becomes more
stern or like distorted.
Distorted, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets more distorted. And it gets more and more distorted, and then finally it stops, right? So she's like, oh, I can go look out the window now because I didn't hear anything. What? She opens the window and looks out the window, and across the field, her mom's staring at her, except it's not her mom. She can tell because the arms are too long.
Ew.
The face isn't quite right. Like, the eyes are kind of off kilter. Like, not quite right.
You know
like,
what that makes me think of?
What?
The episode from Courage the Cowardly Dog where that weird thing is in the field and he's like
getting fucking goosebumps.
Like, something about his tablet. He's like,
the tablet. The tablet. That's one of the creepiest episodes.
It is.
But anyway, she was looking at her, right? And she's just wrong. Like, right, but wrong because, it's not her mom. And this thing looks at her and goes, I got you.
Then she died.
I don't know.
No.
I have no idea what happened after that, but I'm like,
listen to your grandma.
Listen to everybody up there. Listen to your grandmas.
Yeah.
Your grams, your meemaws, your
papas.
No, papa's crazy. Gotta listen to your meemaws. The papas. It's got like, that cat? The cat where he's like, it's so funny. Ew, you spit on me.
All right. Well, rest easy.